Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me here in my shop. I'm in here with my well-slept brain with some coffee and some sugar in it, and I think the first thing I've realized is what has gone wrong with this radio. At the end of the last video, I just could not fathom what is going wrong with this radio, since the signal seems to be making it right fine, and then suddenly nothing. Well, I think I know the problem. I was in here just a few minutes ago starting up my computer and getting ready to do what I'm doing now, when it suddenly dawned on me. Well, actually, it didn't suddenly dawn on me. I pulled out the schematic here, and I just traced where the audio signal should start after the detector. Down through this button. And I started looking at this push button here a little closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 push buttons across there. 5 of them are doing tuning things, but this one is for selecting phono. Selecting phono. Didn't I push this button? Didn't I push this button, leave it pushed, and tip this radio on its side and never looked at it again? And the answer is yes. That button is pushed. So I think this thing's ready to play a record. It's not ready to hear its own radio, for crying out loud. Yes, it's another embarrassing boob up here, but interesting that I would walk in and this idea would just be popping right into my head right away. Now, having said all that, I'm ready to be further embarrassed when it turns out the button isn't causing the problem here. So let's turn the radio on. Or should I call it the record player right now. You know, those buttons, when you depress them, they don't release till you depress another button. So if you push that phono button, what I'm pretty sure is the phono button now, then the only way to pop it out is to push one of the radio buttons, which I guess is just something they couldn't get around on this. The other thing is this selector here, the band selector, has a selection called PB, push button. So what I was thinking was, as long as I don't have this on push button, the push button positions cannot have any effect, because I thought there were 6 radio push buttons. Somehow I didn't clue in fully that one of them is for turning on the record player. Okay, so this should be warmed up now. We don't hear anything. I will now release that button. Try anyway. There it goes. There we go. Well, that's not too dramatic a result, is it? I do have this connected. Oh my God, what a dummy. Okay. I chuckle, but really. The great thing is somehow I sorted this out. Maybe in my sleep. You know, people say that happens, right? You're supposed to go to sleep with a problem. Well, that sounds like a bad idea, doesn't it? Go to sleep thinking about a problem. Wake up in the morning with a solution. Yeah, I don't know. I think what it is it's starting fresh. That's what I really think it is. I think in your head, if you start from a certain point and work your way, you will travel a certain path and get to there. If you start at the same point, you're just going to, you know, we've all seen it. It's just going to go down the same path again and again. So, you go to sleep. When you wake up, you're starting at a new point. That's my theory on that. Now I'm so excited I don't know what to do. So we're going to get on with that IF alignment thing, which, considering the radio was just working. You know, there might have been a problem in this radio that I hadn't recognized, and I took the transformer out, I put it back in, and in the course of doing that, I cleared away a problem I didn't recognize, which is probably where I'm going to end up with this. That's going to be my story on this. So I'm just waiting for my frequency counter to settle down there. I think this is really close to 450 right now anyway, so let's put it on. Turn it up. Glory be, there it is. Excellent. Now, until my frequency counter stops, I can't be sure what frequency I'm on. It's around 450, 455, it's close. You know, I'm back with the original capacitors in here too. Let's twiddle the slug here a bit. Quieter. It's coming out. Oh, there was a peak there. Just turning down the signal level. Do the top one. This is just to reassure me that so the top one is turning all the way in now. So if I'm pushing the slug through the coil, and that's why it's peaking up. I've actually got it below and coming out of the coil. Surely I can raise it up and bring it out the top and get the same effect. Can't I? So I'm going to back this all the way through and out the top. Okay, so my frequency counter is telling me it's 452 we are working with here. Okay, so the slug is probably deep in the coil now. It should be starting to come out the top. Yep, the signal's getting stronger. Way stronger. And there's a peak. Oh my gosh, I found a peak. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're cooking with gas this morning. Holy smokes. Why couldn't I do that before? Either the first time through, I got suspicious of a problem that didn't exist. Because I just, the way I fiddled it, just ended up reaching a conclusion that wasn't true. Or there was a problem. It seemed to me I couldn't do anything with this lower slug. It didn't make any difference. And that problem's been solved somehow, somewhere along the line. Okay, let's do this for real. Okay, IF alignment starting now. Put this on 450. Okay, and wasn't I going to use the AVC meter here? Let's get this going. Okay, AVC point I wanted to pick up was the top of the volume control, which was the same as something else, wasn't it? Wasn't it the same as something else? I can't remember. There was an easy place to clip to. Top of the volume control. So we want to go top of the volume control. So the top, yeah, it's just this wire. It's the same crazy wire going up to the switch. And that wire is on the far side of the 22, where it joins to the 2.2. I know where that is. It's right here. Okay, so we hooked that up. Didn't really hear any difference in the output. That's good. And our meter has come up ever so slightly here. We're on the 15 volt scale, so that's not much of a voltage. And let's tune the radio and watch that go up and down. Didn't go anywhere. tune the signal generator here. Down and up, but not much. Wow, that's not much at all. So, wow, I don't have the volume up too high either. I'm going to put a heavier signal in here. I'm going to see if this meter won't climb higher. Because usually you're looking for 5 or even 10 volts on these things. And the signal's already pretty high. This is not very good. Okay, first tuning here. Let me turn the volume up just a wee bit. Okay, tuning the signal generator. Okay, upping it a big amount. Yeah, there we go. So it's just a very low level signal I'm using here. That's about 5 volts. Good. Okay, let's go back down. Use that signal level. We're ready. Everything's appropriate for tuning this transformer properly. Somehow, wait a minute, my frequency's not right here. Okay, just a fraction off. Bottom slug first. Let me put this on there, make my meter a little more sensitive. Up, down, right there. Lovely, 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 lovely. This one up here. Down, down. So it's right on. Doesn't get any better. Okay, so that's the second IF transformer. I did a lot of work resulting in the simplest thing of all. That. Now we're going to move the input of the signal we're listening to further ahead in the radio. So now we want to get it. We want to do this transformer, so we want to feed the signal in here. There's a chance we can just ram it right through the antenna from here. What does it say? What does it say in the instructions? What does it say in the instructions here? Here we are. Cathode ray alignment is preferable. Output meter alignment. Put it across the speaker. I'm not doing that. I'm measuring the AVC is what I've chosen to do. Test oscillator, calibration, scale. Oh yeah, I've got it already. First step in the RF alignment, pointer calibration, man, exceptional cases. Hey, wait a minute. Where does it tell me where to connect? Probably in here. Antenna, here we are. This is what connection to receiver. Yeah, right there. So control grid 6SK, control grid 6SA7. So I just move it back to the control grid of that tube we were looking at in the schematic, and that would be back here 6SA7 mixer tube grid. Well, they didn't say which grid. Did they say? I didn't notice. We can go on this one. Down to the switch. So we got to get right on this terminal, which is terminal number 8765. Terminal number 5, grid for that tube. Terminal number 5. Terminal number 5. First I gotta get this off here. Okay. Terminal number 5. So that would be 8765. Doesn't 5 right there? 5 right there. Alright. Get the picture here. Grid. grid. Wait a minute, I've lost it. Completely lost. I lost track of what I'm doing. What am I doing? That's not the 6SA7. Come on, Jim. Smarten up, man. All the coffee and sugar has worn off already. I burned it all out on the push button problem. So, I'm flying now. Okay, so it's this guy here for crying out loud. That makes a little more sense to me. So take this off. No, we'll leave that on. What am I doing? Yeah, wow. Not in the best of shape here. Let's see. So 5 would be 8765. 5 would be this terminal that's so hard to see under here. Is that right? 8765. Underneath this great big capacitor, which I plan to change anyway. 5. Okay, let's look at this diagram. I just can't be sure that's pin number 5 there. S, so G and screen grid. Grid. Uh-huh. Okay. Now I've got it right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a totally different pin from what I thought it was. Jeepers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That puts it over here. This green wire. No. Off this capacitor. So I should see a terminal capacitor. It's got this resistor on it. Resistor and capacitor on the terminal. Right up there. There's a resistor. There's a capacitor. Let's see it. It's hidden behind this capacitor here. Why can't I? No, I'll go on here. He says half finishing his sentences again. There we are. I should fade the signal in. Let me turn it down a bit. Okay, one level lower. Signal it in. We should hear it. Okay, I did turn it down a little bit here. Oh, is that a light bulb in the way there? Okay, we hear it. That's a bit too. So it's a pretty strong signal. So I'm going to back it down. I'm not get in front of the camera here. So we get down around the same. Yep. Can't even hear it, but there it is. That's the guy we want to boost. Proper frequency, yes. Right on. Signal generator set correct. We're ready. Now, it's the first time doing this coil. Now, if this coil turns out not to have a peak, I am not taking it out. Okay, here we go. We gotta watch the meter. Going up, going up, going up, going way up. Oh my gosh. Isn't that something? That's a huge difference. Makes me wonder, what am I doing wrong now? This is going along too good. Seldom have I found a radio with the IFs whacked way out like this. This is way out. Is that all it was, you think? Right from the start? They were just so far out, I just couldn't believe it. Going down. This one seems to be in the right spot. It's also not very happy about being adjusted. Something funny happening here. Don't say that, Jim. So the slug is moving freely by about a quarter turn here, and then it locks up in either direction. So I'm forcing it a bit. Let's go back. Oh, there we go. It's now, let's see, the lower slug is drawn back. I was wondering if the slugs were banging into each other. A little hard to see, but that's how much slug is left here. See, this one came way out. Oh! Yeah, I pushed it through the coil. Let's back it out the other way. Yeah. Can't get far enough this way. I think we're going to go right through the coil and come out the other end. Doesn't that seem to be on an angle? Okay, we're going up now. Come out. Come out. 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 Holy smokes, I can't believe how much juice we're getting out of this. I'm cutting back my input. Still more. Oh, there we are. I crossed it. Excellent. Funny going on here. Why is it? I got it all the way up to here, and then every time I go back and forth, it comes up to here, then up to here, then now only up to here. Why would that be? Something breaking as I'm going? This just does not feel right. Look at the angle on it. Let's look at the angle on it more closely. A little tough with this camera. You can see it in the camera. Is there a chance that the slug is not in? Oh my gosh, what are the chances? Can that happen? Sure. Pushing the coil this way, and the slug will go down the outside when this can got put on. No! Somebody screwed it all the way out, and then couldn't screw it dead in because they didn't know what they were doing. Can you screw this all the way out so it's just clear as the top? Or am I about to mess this up really badly? That's not going anywhere. See, the spring on the top here pushes this thing over. Is that all it is? It's just pushed this, the spring has pushed this over, and it's kind of twisted the coil. I can't imagine you can push this way. It would rock on the fulcrum here and push the coil this way, and the mechanics are really bad, right? Really bad. So I'm trying to assess whether this slug is out without going through all the misery of what I did with that other one. Can it really be out? See, this one is beautifully straight. This one is way off, eh? So how could it be on this angle and still be inside the form? I don't think it can be. keep going on the back it out. See, this is something somebody could fool around with. Ooh, didn't like the sound of that. Okay, so that sounds like we've reached the end of the road here. I'm going to take this spring off. And we'll just have free play. I should have done that right away. I need a little bit of free play. Nope. Just awkward here. I can't get a grip. I can't get a grip. It's not easy to get that off. Let's turn this radio off while I'm doing this. Wow. There it goes. Rusty guy. Okay, now that should remove the tension from the slug. Okay, so what do you think? Think that's going in there? It must be going in, because if it was loose around the outside of the coil down here, I'd be able to wiggle this. But it's not pivoting here, it's pivoting down here, I would say. Maybe not. Ugh, just doesn't this feel horrible? It can't be missing the coil. Can't really explain why it would have an angle like that, though. The coil itself has been smashed, and it's whacked way off. There's like 1,000 reasons to take this can off here. Is that really something I want to do? I know the trick. I know all the tricks. Okay, well, I'm going to try to pop this can off. We're going to see what's going on, because this angle is bizarre. The slug wants to come all the way out to tune the coil. I don't know. It's just a big I don't know. Think. Okay, all those in favor of trying to get this can off. I can't believe I'm going to do this. You'd think I learned my lesson on the last one. Wow. Now this doesn't feel right either. Springiness. When I push it down, it springs back up. What could be going on that would cause that? The slug has gone down past the coil and is riding on some wires now. Ew, it could be riding on the little coil wires. If it's, I just, you know what? I don't know what's going on, so that's where I should leave this. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if we can get the can off without tears, without any tears. I think I know what I'm doing here. That's usually the start of something really bad, when you think you know what you're doing. Now what if somebody else has already done this and bent all these things back, and in fact they're not even in the way anymore because somebody's done this? If I just loosen those bolts off, those nuts off, which are easy to get to. You see how this works? You fix one problem you make, you immediately get busy making the next problem for yourself. That's how it goes. Power's off. Oh, did you see the spark there? Right after I said power's off. That's because I'm right around this plug here. In fact, let's just double safety myself here. I'm gonna pull the plug right out of the outlet. There we are. That's a visible means of circuit separation. Oh man, already, even now. Let's try this big honking tool. Oh, I don't think that's gonna work. No. Okay, we gotta go for the slippery, slidey method here. It's not too tight. More sparks. That means the B plus, the filter capacitors are holding their charge quite well. That means the capacitors are not leaky, not badly anyway. It also means there's a nice voltage in there for me to find with my finger. Yeah, that doesn't sound very reassuring, does it? And I don't normally discharge the high voltage before I jump in here. Maybe we should. And I already did. One of those should do it. Yeah, I guess it must be gone now. That's more famous last words. Guess it must be gone. So I was watching Mayday before I came in here. Mayday, the TV show about shows you airplane crash investigations. This was a Canadian airliner. The story was, and it caught fire. In flight, got on the ground full of smoke. Before all the passengers could get off, the smoke turned into fire. 40 people got killed on the ground. It's an amazing job landing the plane full of smoke, but you know, I mean, if you watch that show, I'm never going to be a pilot, and you can all relax, I'll never be a pilot, but it certainly could be a passenger. There are things to know as a passenger. The chances of something happening are so small, but if they do, the choices you make in a matter of a few minutes can make the difference. So, if I were on an airplane that were crashing, I would run up immediately into the cockpit and seize control of the airplane, because I know better than the pilots. Because I've watched Mayday. There we go. Okay, so there. Talking about flying an airplane, I can't get a nut off a bolt at the same time. Okay. Now, Mr. Can, you should be a little loose. Seems to me you could take this thing and you could muscle it. You could muscle it if you could hold down the this part here, which I think I can get at the little tabs from underneath. Show you what I'm doing here. First with the big clumsy screwdriver. I should have done this before I loosened those nuts. Yeah, I should have. tight. There. I got my antenna suspended too high. Now I just want to catch the little bent over tab here. And by the time I get this off, something got bent there. So you can pull this out quite a ways on the wires. Let's try something with a little more strength in it here. Get that in there. Yeah, that did it. That's the tool. That's the tool. This one's already bent out. I think I only got to get like 3 of these off, and then the 4th one kind of fall off. Oh yeah, that's right. No, this slug. Wow, if the slug is interfering here. Slug could be grabbing the coil somehow. How come the coil's not separated? It is separating down here. There we go. Yeah, so I got the last corner. I've got to just bend it a little bit out. The last corner, of course, up, way up back in there. What am I going to shove up there? Let's try this. It doesn't seem to have the strength. It's just not quite the right tool. Now if I can just get this in here. Got it. That's it. Okay, here it comes. Well, it's in. Oh, look at the coil. Look at the coil form. It's all bent and distorted in here. What happened to this guy? So that's where the springiness is coming from. As I drive this down, it's running into this. Look at, it's running into this. So this coil is moving relative to that one. Look at this. The whole thing is it's torn off at the top of this coil. So somebody's turned this all the way until something terrible happened. Until it what would it bind up with? This shouldn't just bind up, it should just fall in at some point. Well, we're not going to know who beat the living daylights out of this thing. Somebody did. Now, is it ruined? No, it's not ruined. Close, very, very close. Wow, okay, I would never have imagined this kind of thing. Now, what can I do? Just tape this? Just put some tape around this part here? Yeah, I don't know, I think that's what I would do. I just put some black tape around here, pull it, stretch it, pull it, make it tight. And I'll just try to stiffen this thing into its proper position. That's about the best I can do. It is just as wobbly as can be, though. I mean, it's lost all mechanical strength really through there. Then if I do that, is that going to cause the slug to bind? Okay, so I'll pretend I'm the tape. I'm the tape. No. Wow. Well, it was worth getting the can off. Surprise, surprise. How could it have ever gotten like that? I don't think anybody's taken the can off before. It's really hard to imagine how that could have happened. I think it would have to be a crushing force from above. But you know, with a can on, you cannot retract the slug to the point where it comes out the top. So it can never come out of this. So how do you end up with that? Mayday, mayday. They're calling the Canadian federal authorities here to investigate the cause of the failure of this radio. Oh, fits nicely. Would it be pilot error? I'm the pilot. No, I was not the pilot. I'm the investigator. I'm not the pilot, I'm the investigator. But don't worry, sir. We're going to put some black electrical tape on it, and we'll be in the air shortly. We're going to tape it into roughly its original position. Ooh, what's that? What is that? There are not two wires? There are two wires. That's just the wire. It's just the wire. Let's get under the wire. You gotta figure the very first passenger planes, and no question about it, first commercial airliners had vacuum tubes on board for doing lots of stuff, mainly radio communication, I would think. Mainly that. How many times around should I go here? Not many. Is there any way that this tape will have an influence on this thing? A bad influence? I don't think so. I'm the bad influence here. Come on, don't do that. Nothing worse than tape sticking to itself. Get through. They had a wonderful Canada Day celebration here in Orillia. They have a really nice waterfront park. It's just 500 meters from here. I can walk to it. Beach, playground, park area, all that kind of stuff. And boat slip with about, I don't know, must be 150 berths, I guess you call them, for boats. The lake I'm on is part of an extensive canal system. It was built in the mid-1800s for commercial reasons, but at the time they got it finished, the canal system through Ontario here, not near Toronto, up here in the more northern area. By the time they got it finished, trains had come along, and trains were taking over. But the canal system exists. It's pieces of canals running between lakes and rivers and everything involved. You can go all the way from Lake Ontario through the middle of the province of Ontario on this the Trent Canal system, I guess it's called. And you come right out into my lake here, and then from my lake you get on a canal and head further north. The next thing you know, you're in another great lake. You can go all the way from Lake Ontario right through the middle of Ontario and end up in Georgian Bay. And part of it is in my lake. So that means a lot of pleasure boats head through this system, and they, you know, on Canada Day, they want to park their boat somewhere where it's going to be great. You can park your boat here in Orillia, you can watch the fireworks that are going right above your boat. It's fantastic. Okay, enough of that. I'll put this guy back together now. So, now, how did I get this? How did they do this? I don't remember. Loose as can be. How can this? Why is this so loose? Did I do that? Oh, when you put the spring on, then it will push it against one part of this. That's the trick. That's the trick. The trick is the threaded hole doesn't grip till you put the spring on. Now there's no chance I put this transformer in upside down, backwards, or left or right. But I'm sure I can find other ways to mess this up. That's the thing about the universe. There could be one right way, hey, maybe two. There's 500 million wrong ways. Count them, 500 million. Okay, one of the wrong ways I could do this. First, I forgot about the slug. That's one wrong way. Hey, that's how you broke. That's how this. Hey, maybe that's how this got broken. Wait, but no one's taken this off before. What I was thinking was the slug go up in the corner, miss the hole, you're not paying attention, you get this on, you tighten down the screws, and you crush this. And then look at it and go, ooh, that's a bad mistake there. So I'll make sure this thing's sticking out the top here first. There we go. Okay, out the top, through the bottom. Okay, now I gotta stick those nuts on again. I'm gonna spare you watching me do that. I'll get those nuts on. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. So I want to hook up the meter to AVC point. This is the one I'm using here. And then the signal, we'll put it on when we're ready to go, which I think we are. We are ready to go here. Plug it in. Hey, I remembered. Bodes well for me. Okay, have we done anything extreme here? We didn't do anything. You know what? The loop antenna is not plugged in, but I don't think that's going to make any difference. He says. So no antenna, we're not going to hear anything. Well, we might hear. So I think it's working even without the antenna. I'm pretty convinced. We'll hook on this. Okay. Pretty good reading on the meter here. And away we go. So we're at 453, 455 rather. Bottom slug first. This should be tuned. Okay, I'm watching the meter. Up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now we'll do the top slug. Oh, I gotta put that spring back on. It's not gonna. Oh, let's just slide it in and out by hand. Easier said than done. Still jumping around, but look at very, very, very clear peak. Oh, fantastic. Right in here somewhere. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Let's see if we can get the spring on. Now the can is tipped. I can get the can all the way on. Well, you know, it's because I tightened up one bolt up here and the other one's not on, so it's tipped up. I don't think it matters at all. we can get this on without too much pain here. Okay, we go that way. Here we are. So this is fairly straight now, I guess. Okay. Wow, so I fiddled around with transformer number 2, but it turned out it's transformer number 1 that really needed the attention. So watching the control now, I just do it by hand here, I think. No, I cannot do it by tool. Peak that meter. Look at this jumping around a bit. It's on the money. So this will have made a big difference in this radio. Big difference. All this monkey business is paying off. So we're on the money here. Now we'll do the number 2. Yeah, okay, watching. It's right on the money. Excellent. Nice, sharp, clear peak. Okay, one last one to do here. Gain. Perfect. Perfect. So, I don't know, that was quite a journey, quite a odyssey. But in the end, it's paid off. It's paid off. So we just got to fine tune nuts and tighten these things down properly. The IF is aligned, and you know, let's plug in the antenna and hear the result. Let's do that. So we're gonna take this guy off here. My other hand, I'm making sure it's not touching anything. There we go. And we can leave the AVC on for fun. We have to plug the loop antenna back in. It's almost time to give this loop antenna the once over here. I don't think it's actually shorted anywhere. It's a little tricky to get this down in there. Really, how am I going to put my hand down in there? Right to the far corner. With all this stuff on top here. I can do it. I want to see how I can do it. Let's turn it off here. I can't pay attention to its onness while I'm doing this. Just want to line them up. There, get them started. I got it. Ah, it wasn't so bad after all. Back on. This guy's 3 wires are connected. Doesn't that sound like a radio coming on? Sure does to me. Okay, let's tune it. We shall see.
I guess the answer is yes. The one thing you got to keep in mind with the Raptors is even if Paul Leonard had told them 2 weeks ago he wasn't coming back, they wouldn't be all that big.
That's 590.
Right? Because
We're talking sports.
At a bit of a pivot point.
So
Just
640.
Lowry and
So, that's pretty good. It's not great, but that's pretty good. Now, this radio has the potential to be a good working radio. It has a tube in front of the mixer tube. It has an RF amplifier in it. So get this tuned up right, and it should pick those stations out much clearer among all the noise that's there. But so at this point, we've got the IF tuned up nicely. It looks to me like the dial is way off. That's 640, almost in the middle. That doesn't make sense. 640 should be up here. So I think we might find the local oscillator is way out of whack. What we might have here is a radio somebody tried to tune up without the necessary instrumentation, the signal generator and voltmeter. They may have attempted to tune it up by ear. And this could be why all this monkey business has happened with the tuning. So we may find the front end tuning, all that stuff is all out of whack and needs to be brought back. And when it is, this should be a really good performing radio. So pretty happy, man. I've jumped all the hurdles. Well, all the hurdles I know of. Thanks a lot for watching, and I think we're back on track with this guy. Meanwhile, I think I got a customer coming in 45 minutes with something for me to take a look at. So see you tomorrow, and we'll continue with the continue with the alignment process. I may swap out a couple of these capacitors. I haven't decided. Great. I'm on my way to go outside. Another beautiful day today. Day after Canada Day. Fantastic. See ya.